How's Jordan Turner, first of all?
Oh yeah, he's all right. He's, obviously it's a short turnaround, 6 days. Protocol is 7, so he won't be available this week. But I've spoken to him a couple of times. He's progressing as well as we could expect. He'll see a specialist early next week, and hopefully he'll get the all clear for Wakefield next Friday.
Looked bad though, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. It's one of the worst ones. I guess when he's laying motionless like that and has to be carried off, it's not good. But thankfully he's improved daily. I think he might get on a bike for 20 minutes today, and but that'll be about it for him. Since Monday. But we'll slowly build him up and make sure he passes all his tests along the way. And like I said, the game will be for him to play next Friday.
What sort of state was he when you got back to the changing room?
I didn't really see him, to be honest. But he wasn't great. I know, the doctor spoke to him about a few things about this week that he sort of didn't remember when I spoke to him. So he wasn't great. I mean, it was a good one. I mean, he got hit flush, and it was clear for everyone to see he was knocked out, not his day. So, but it's a part of the game, unfortunately, and he's recovering well. That's the main thing.
To the game, pending watching the match again, that you might make changes. Do you still hold to that? Yeah,
well, we haven't. We're back. We've only been back in as a group today. Obviously, the Easter weekend, was hectic, so they had Tuesday and Wednesday off to go and recharge the batteries and get away from footy for a couple of days. So we've got some decisions to make. We'll train today, and we'll pick our team tomorrow.
How far's Leroy away?
Well, the medical staff tell me hopefully 2 to 3 weeks. So I'd like to see him back. Me as the coach would like to see him back for the Challenge Cup game, but I'm tipping he won't be back for that. But maybe the week after. But yeah, he's progressing really well. And talking to Leroy yesterday, he's positive about returning, and he's said himself he doesn't feel like he's far away now. So he's integrating into training for all the lighter non-contact type drills, and we'll build him up over the next couple of weeks until he's at a stage where he can train the full week for us. And when he can do that, I think he even jumped into the bit of contact wrestle this morning. So certainly positive for Leroy.
Not far away. Have you got anyone potentially to come back this week?
Well, no, not really. Only Darnell and Equilla, who didn't play last week on Monday. They didn't play. Ollie Roberts is available. Ferg next week. Ollie will play. Tom Holmes will play. For Featherston this week. So that's a positive. He'll be available. Get some games under his belt, and he'll come into selection calculation at some stage. So slowly getting them all back. Like I said, we're hoping Dale Ferguson will be full training with us by the end of the week and available for Wakey the week after. So we'll just see how that goes.
You were pretty unimpressed straight after the game. Having watched it back, were you more encouraged?
Look, I was disappointed. I'm still, we've moved on now, but there was a lot of disappointing things about that game where we, where we just weren't good enough, and we put ourselves in a position, where we could have lost the game, and that would have been, would have topped off a terrible weekend if we had to let that go on Monday, and it was an important game. So, obviously after the game I was disappointed with a lot of things. That didn't change, but we found a lot of positive things too, and things, if we had been a little bit better, well, we wouldn't have put ourselves in a position the way we did, and being vulnerable the last play of the game. So but we've got to learn from that. It's not, some young guys and some senior guys need to learn out of that game things we need to do better, but that's gone now, and we're on to Warrington.
How good are the Wolves at the moment?
They're really good. They had a couple of weeks there. They would have been disappointed with St Helens lost the way they lost, and certainly the Salford game they would have been disappointed with that. And I thought they hit back well against Hull KR. They steamrolled them and put 50 points, which is what they can do. I thought that when we last played them, we were well. I think we've improved since we played them last, and we got to a position in that game 16-10 where Walney got put in the bin, and that sort of took the air out of our tyres that game. But they're a tough team. They're up the top. They're going to be hard to beat. We need to be a lot better than we were over the weekend. We need to be a lot better than we have been all year, to be honest. But we feel we're getting players back and games under their belt, and there's no reason why if we go there. I'm sure we'll go there with a good attitude. We're playing one of the top teams, so I'm sure we'll give a good account of ourselves.
Who's their main threat, do you feel?
Oh, geez, where do you start? Where do you finish? I mean, Austin's a threat. You know, their front rowers are a threat. They're two wingers that can carry the ball hard, and you know they've got a lot of players in their team that can offload the footy. Clark, you know, scoots more metres than anyone else in Super League. So we've got to be good in the contact and good in the work after contact, and our marker play needs to be spot on. And you know, so you know, Austin's obviously, you know, probably their biggest key for me, but you know, we've got to do a good job on plenty more than Blake Austin to go anywhere near getting the result we're after.
I'm sure you've been told that the first game out of Easter can sometimes spring a few upsets, surprises. I mean, you'll hope that that's the case.
Yeah, well, we planned this week. You know, we thought, you know, the way we went about this week was crucial, you know, to how we perform on the weekend, and we've freshened them up. I'm sure. Look, I'll be very surprised if, you know, there's any team in the Super League that haven't had a couple of days off to freshen up, but that's the way we went. We'll have a moderate session today. You know, it's all about getting their minds ready for Sunday, and, you know, physically we'll be okay. But you know, I think we get a good session in today, and, you know, it won't be our normal, you know, three days before a game session. Obviously, it'll be a bit lighter than that, and you know, then we'll get to, you know, have a little bit of a rest again tomorrow, and hopefully our captain's run's nice and sharp on Saturday, and we're ready to go.
And just the ruck penalties, the policy has been changed this week, and it just got to the point where it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I've seen some this year where the penalties have been, you know, they've been deserved, but apparently on the weekend there was some where some players just took the mickey out of the rule altogether, and there's always a couple that ruin it for everyone else, James, isn't there? So, look, it's taken the grey area out of it, I guess. You know, we had a couple, Cruz Lemming, you know, threw a couple of passes into some defenders over the last month, and I shook my head thinking we were going to be penalised, but we weren't, because, you know, he was actually legitimately passing it to one of our own players, and you know, the defender hadn't made an effort to clear the ruck. So, but apparently on the weekend that wasn't the case with some. So I'm glad they've come in and, you know, put the hammer down. It takes the grey areas out of it, and you know, it puts more onus on the attacking players to do the right thing, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Good luck.
Cheers, thanks.